There's a state where you can buy land for $3,000 an acre and it's got mountains. Another state where desert property goes for $4,000 per acre with sunsets that look fake. While everyone's scrambling over quarter-acre suburban lots, some states are sitting on massive parcels that nobody's talking about. These aren't ghost towns or nuclear testing sites. These are real states with legitimate land deals that sound too good to be true until you check the data. Today we're counting down 10 states where land prices still make sense. Places where your down payment on a condo could buy you 50 acres, where property ownership isn't reserved for trust fund kids or retirees cashing out coastal equity. One state averages $10,800 per acre. Another has counties selling raw land for less than a used truck. Think you need to move to Alaska or Montana for affordable property? Wait till you see what's available in the South and Southwest. These aren't all paradise locations. Some are remote. Some require off-grid living, but they're affordable, legal, and available right now. Let's break it down. Number 10, Michigan. Michigan closes out our list at around $18,300 per acre. This is the state people forget about when they're dreaming of lake houses and forest land. But Michigan delivers. We're talking the Upper Peninsula with dense forests, lakefront property on smaller inland lakes, and rural stretches where your nearest neighbor is a deer. The Lower Peninsula has more development, higher prices, and better infrastructure. The UP is where the deals hide. Average cost per acre, around $18,300. Property taxes, around 1.5%. Water access, abundant. The state has more coastline than any other state except Alaska. Winters, brutal. The appeal is straightforward. You get real land, actual trees, and enough water to make your California friends jealous. The downside? Jobs outside Detroit, Grand Rapids, and Ann Arbor are limited. Infrastructure varies depending on the county. One landowner said, "I bought 40 acres in the UP for $600,000. That sounds expensive until you realize it includes a stream, forest, and total privacy. Try finding that in Colorado. Michigan won't work for everyone, but if you want forests, lakes, and space without West Coast prices, it's worth considering." Number 9, Alabama. Alabama brings southern charm and affordable land at around $18,100 per acre. This state flies under the radar, but Alabama offers rolling hills, pine forests, and land prices that make sense. The northern part of the state has mountains. The central region has farmland and forests. The southern part near the Gulf gets pricier, but still beats Florida. Average cost per acre, $18,100. Rural areas drop lower. Property taxes, low at around 0.4%. Cost of living, well below the national average. Climate, hot and humid in summer, mild winters. Expect bugs. The state's economy is agriculture heavy. Jobs in rural areas are limited, but land is plentiful. Infrastructure is decent near cities, rougher in remote counties. One buyer shared, "I got 50 acres for $800,000. My buddy in Oregon paid twice that for half the land and no trees." Alabama's not going to dazzle you with tech jobs or cultural amenities, but if you want affordable southern land with actual scenery, it delivers. Number 8, Oregon. Oregon surprises people on this list. Everyone assumes it's expensive because of Portland and the coast, and those areas are. But Eastern Oregon tells a different story. Land here averages around $16,000 per acre, with remote areas dropping even lower. Eastern Oregon is high desert, dry, open, and dramatically different from the rainy west side. We're talking sagebrush, wide skies, and landscapes that feel more like Nevada than the Pacific Northwest. Average cost per acre, $16,000. Remote areas in counties like Harney and Malheur drop to $10,000 or less. Property taxes, around 0.9%, reasonable for the West Coast. Population density, extremely low in the eastern half. You'll have space, weather, dry summers, cold winters, nothing like Western Oregon's rain. Western Oregon near Portland, Eugene, and the coast is expensive. Eastern Oregon is the opposite. Raw land, minimal infrastructure, and prices that actually make sense. The catch? It's remote, very remote. Towns are small, services are limited, and you'll need to be comfortable with solitude or long drives. One landowner said, "I bought 80 acres for $1.1 million. In Western Oregon, that wouldn't get me 5 acres. Out here, I've got mountains, privacy, and actual affordability." Oregon's eastern side won't appeal to everyone, but if you want West Coast land without West Coast prices, this is it. Number 7, Missouri. Missouri is the Midwest's best-kept secret. Land here averages $14,000 per acre, giving you rolling hills, forests, rivers, and farmland. The Ozark region in southern Missouri has hills, trees, and scenery. Northern Missouri is flatter, more agricultural, and cheaper. Average cost per acre, $14,000. Rural areas drop to $10,000 or less. Property taxes, around 1%. Cost of living, below
the national average, plenty of rural land available. Missouri's central location makes it accessible. Jobs in rural areas are limited. One buyer said, "I bought 100 acres for $1.2 million. That's farmland, forest, and a creek. My cousin in California pays that for a condo." Missouri won't thrill you with mountains or beaches, but it offers solid, affordable land without gimmicks. Number 6, New York. Yes, New York, not Manhattan. We're talking upstate, the Adirondacks, the Catskills, and rural areas where land averages around $12,000 per acre. Upstate New York has mountains, forests, lakes, and small towns. Land here is cheaper than you'd expect. Average cost per acre, $12,000. Remote areas drop lower. Property taxes, around 1.7%. Cost of living, low in rural areas. Climate, cold winters with heavy snow. Short summers. The northern parts of the state are isolated. The southern tier near Pennsylvania is cheaper. Infrastructure varies. One landowner shared, "I bought 60 acres in the Catskills for $600,000. That wouldn't get me a parking space in Brooklyn. Out here, I've got forest, privacy, and peace." Upstate New York won't work for everyone, but if you want East Coast land without East Coast prices, it's worth a look. Number 5, Arkansas. Arkansas consistently delivers value. Land here averages $11,600 per acre, which buys you forests, rivers, hills, and rural charm that rivals more expensive states. This state is the South's hidden gem for land buyers. The Ozarks in northern Arkansas have rolling hills, natural beauty, and a surprising number of retirees who figured out the secret. Southern Arkansas is flatter, cheaper, and more agricultural. Average cost per acre, $11,600. Rural areas drop to $8,000 or less. Property taxes, around 0.6%, one of the lowest in the nation. Cost of living, well below average. You can afford to live here. Natural beauty, underrated. Rivers, caves, forests, and state parks everywhere. Arkansas doesn't market itself aggressively, which works in buyers' favor. Fewer people know about it, so prices stay reasonable. The economy is agriculture-based with limited job growth in rural areas. Infrastructure is decent near cities like Little Rock and Fayetteville, rougher in remote counties. One buyer said, "I bought 75 acres for $750,000. That's forest, a creek, and total privacy. My friend in Washington paid double that for 10 acres with a view of a strip mall." Arkansas won't offer big city amenities, but if your goal is affordable land with real scenery, this state delivers. Number 4, Colorado. Colorado surprises people on this list. Southern Colorado, especially Castilla County, tells a different story. Land here starts at $3,000 per acre. Southern Colorado near the New Mexico border is high desert, remote and cheaper than the northern part of the state. We're talking the San Luis Valley. Average cost per acre in Castilla County, starting at $3,000. Some parcels go lower. Property taxes, around 0.6%. Population density, extremely low. Weather, harsh winters and short summers. High elevation means cold temperatures. Northern Colorado is expensive. Southern Colorado is raw land with minimal development. The catch? It's off-grid territory. Expect well water, septic systems, and limited services. Infrastructure is minimal. One landowner said, "I bought 40 acres for $100,000. In Boulder, that wouldn't get me a shed. Out here, I've got mountain views and actual ownership." Southern Colorado won't appeal to everyone, but if you want affordable land in a mountain state, it's one of the last options. Number 3, Mississippi. Mississippi consistently ranks as one of the cheapest states for land. At around $10,800 per acre on average, this state offers value that's hard to find anywhere else. The landscape is rolling fields, forests, and rural charm. The economy is slower than most states, which keeps prices down. Southern Mississippi near the Gulf Coast is slightly pricier. Northern Mississippi is cheaper and more agricultural. Average cost per acre, $10,800. Rural areas drop to $7,000 or less. Property taxes, around 0.8%. Low and manageable. Cost of living, the lowest in the nation. Your dollar goes further here than anywhere else. Climate, hot and humid in summer. Mild winters. Expect bugs and occasional hurricanes near the coast. Mississippi's affordability is undeniable, but it comes with trade-offs. The economy lags behind most states. Infrastructure is dated in many rural areas. Quality of life rankings place it near the bottom nationally. But for land buyers, especially those looking for large parcels or investment properties,
property, Mississippi delivers. One buyer said, "I bought 100 acres for $900,000. That's farmland, forest, and a pond. My cousin in Boston pays that for a condo." Mississippi won't offer luxury or excitement, but if your goal is cheap land, this state wins. Number 2, New Mexico. New Mexico, nicknamed the Land of Enchantment, offers some of the best land deals in the country. Averaging around $6,000 per acre, you can find budget-friendly desert parcels, especially in places like Luna County. This state has deserts, mountains, sunsets that look photoshopped, and a low population density that means less competition for land. Northern New Mexico near Taos and Santa Fe is pricier but still cheaper than comparable areas in Colorado. Southern New Mexico near the Texas border is dirt cheap, average cost per acre around $6,000. Remote desert areas drop to $3,000 or less. Property taxes low at around 0.8%. Water rights, this is the catch. New Mexico's water laws are complicated. Do your research. Climate dry, sunny, and hot in summer. Mild winters unless you're in the mountains. The landscape is stunning. High desert, mesas, and skies that stretch forever. But it's remote. Your nearest grocery store might be an hour away. Cell service is a suggestion. Infrastructure is minimal in rural areas. Expect well water, septic systems, and off-grid living. One buyer shared, "I bought 80 acres for $400,000. The view is incredible. It feels like living on another planet in the best way." New Mexico won't work for everyone, but if you want cheap land with big skies and solitude, it's hard to beat. Number 1, Arizona. Kicking off at number 1 is Arizona, where you can snag land for as low as $4,000 per acre in some areas. Think wide open deserts and plenty of space to call your own. Northern Arizona near Flagstaff and Sedona is pricier. Southern and western Arizona is where the deals hide. Desert land, minimal development, average cost per acre, starting at $4,000. Some remote areas drop to $2,000 or less. Property taxes, around 0.6%. Cost of living, below the national average. Water access is the catch. Arizona's water situation is complicated. Climate, hot. Summers regularly exceed 110 degrees. Winters are mild. The appeal is clear. Space and affordability. The downside? It's desert. Heat, limited water, and minimal infrastructure outside major cities. Remote areas require off-grid living. One landowner said, "I bought 50 acres for $150,000. My friend in San Diego pays that for a parking space. Sure, it's hot and remote, but I own land. Actual land." Arizona's not for everyone, but if you want the cheapest land on this list with legitimate scenery, this state delivers. So there you have it, 10 states where land is still dirt cheap. From Arizona's $4,000 per acre desert parcels to Michigan's $18,300 per acre forests, these states offer real opportunities for buyers who are willing to look beyond the coasts. Not all of them are easy. Some require off-grid living, others mean isolation and limited services, but they're affordable, available, and based on actual data. The question is, are you willing to trade convenience for ownership? Now go out, have a great day, be nice to each other.